Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah, and today we've been doing our May book releases, and there's not much that's coming out for May. I'm sure there's more by the time this video goes up, but these are the ones that I just found and I thought that was interesting. So let's just get going. My first book is Unfortunate Amistad by Anota Septes. Detroit, 1927. A city of smoke and ambition with glittering wealth conceals a graveyard of secrets. Mayori Lennox is the youngest daughter of a powerful automotive dynasty, and family known for money, not manners. Artistic, impulsive, and always slightly out of step, Mayori has long been dismissed by her controlling father and self-absorbed siblings. But when she secretly applies to an exclusive arts program funded by an elusive benefactor, she sees a chance to redefine herself on her own terms. The building is grand, the participants are gifted, but something is off. The program is uncomfortably restrictive. Doors lock in odd hours, strange sounds echo through the halls and whispers that women are disappearing, and the handsome benefactor's presence mostly absent, yet somehow everywhere, begins to unnerve her, as Majority's sense of self begins to slip. So does the group or the truth. What happens to women who don't fit neatly into a gilded frame? Comes out on May 26. The next book is Saturn Returning by Kim Narby. Jordan Caleb is a freshman at McAllen College when she meets Trace. From the moment the confident tattooed Trace compliments Jordan's Alanis Morissette t-shirt, the friendship feels fated and electrically charged. When the two friends meet mercurial transfers to Sylvia, she catches Trace's eye. The instant interaction eclipses the last pool between Jordan and Trace, forming a missing constellation among the three women. Over the course of a decade, the opposite the opposite place? Jordan builds a life in New York City, while Trace and Sylvia gets engaged in Seattle, yet the three remain unlinked by the gravitational pull of the past. As they approach 30 and the apogee of the Saturn return, their bond splinters when Trace calls Jordan with shocking revelation, exposing a web of heartache, secrets, and unspoken desires. Comes out on May 5th. My next book is The Bold and Secret by Alison Ware. At 12 years old, Catherine Carey attends her aunt, Queen Anne Boleyn, to the scaffold. Horrified by what she witnesses, Kate is convinced that King Henry VIII is a murderer and has set innocent woman to a terrible death. Although the Boleyn family, once so influential at court, has now fallen from favor, Catherine still manages to secure a coveted role as lady-in-waiting to her now motherless cousin, the young Lady Elizabeth. Bound by Boleyn blood, the two girls grow as close as sisters, though Catherine has trouble ignoring the sly looks thrown her way and continual whispers behind her back. Only when her mother lies dying does Catherine learn the life-shattering truth about that the Boleyns have been hiding for years. Comes out on May 26th. The next book is The Lost Book of Lancelot by John Glynn. Hidden away on the Isle of Woman, a nameless orphan has grown up among the island's sisterhood, but always at a distance. He hears whispers of a prophecy that may shed light on his destiny and his true identity, Lancelot. Determined to master skills and knowledge worthy of the knight he is meant to be, he begins training alongside the handsome Galahad. As the two grow closer, they guide one another towards their truest selves. But no matter how tightly they cling to one another, each has a role to play in the words of Merlin's grand prophecies. When Lancelot is forced to follow Merlin to Camelot, he fights to protect his heart while seeking the famed Holy Grail. As he grows closer to his fellow knights, Lancelot must keep an exclusive secret to himself. The truth of what he left behind on the Isle of Woman, of the man he truly is beneath the armor. All the while, Roman legionnaires to school far and wide for the Grail. As an army encroaches on the kingdom, King Arthur and his knights must race to ensure that this powerful object doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Comes out on May 12th. My next book is Verity Guild by Mary Collin. Secrets build this republic. One truth can burn it down. High Priestess Carazia Vestal has spent her life hiding the truth that she is the last surviving heir of the magical bloodline the Republic slaughtered. One wrong step could be fatal, but when a senator is brutally killed and a temple blade is found at the scene, all lights turn to her. Praetorian Torin Morvan has made a career of dragging liars into the light, and Carazia is the person he vows to ruin. But locked in the mountain with the murderers, scheming senators, and the prophecy of death, he is forced to walk at her side. The closer he gets, the more dangerous the truth and the attraction becomes. comes out on May 5th. My next book is actually a sequel of Throne of Katana. So the first book was He Knows the Sun, I believe, or He is the Face of the Sun, I think that's what it's called. Yes. That is the #1 book, and then there's no summary. It's just ancient Egyptian inspired trilogy, and it comes out on May 5th. My next book is The Rain Shadow Orphans by Naomi Ishiguro. Life is hard for the inhabitants of Rain Shadow City, a place where poverty and corruption are rife and where they are terrorized by an underground criminal organization known as the Lucky Crows. Toshiko and June and Mei Kawakami are a family, born into royalty if not blood, who live outside increasingly corrupt law and who are seeking revenge for the murder of their beloved aunt, Reiko, by the Lucky Crows. Haru is the son of the emperor, destined to one day rule over the archipelago and uphold his mother's ignoble legacy. But he is more interested in making friends with the magical sun spirits it seems only he can see. Theo, forced to leave his homeland, is a reluctant foot soldier for the Lucky Crows. He doesn't want to be a gangster, but as an illegal immigrant to the city, his choice is severely limited. When Toshiko steals a dragon pearl from the leader of the Crows, it sets them all on a thrilling path which will determine the future of Rain Shadow City. Tightly set across 2 days and peopled with unforgettable characters. It comes out on May 26th. My next book is All Hail Chaos by Sarah Rees Brennan. This is the #2 book in a series or trilogy maybe. It's called, the first one is Long Live Evil, and then this is All Hail Chaos by Sarah Rees Brennan. The Emperor is here, and she made him worse. May is a fantasy reader who has been transported to her favorite fictional world of swords and sorcery, castles and monsters. Playing the villainess, she thought she could change the narrative, but this version of the plot is far much more deadly than the one she knew. Her friends are on the run, Lakoba shelters in an eerie manor haunted by dark secrets, while Emian and Leah stroke a revolution in the gutters. Undead armies roam the kingdom, raiders camp at the city gates. An irresistible emperor, Ray's favorite character ever, now possibly the greatest monster in the land, wants her to be his evil queen. What's a villainess to do? It's time for breaking bargains and fake engagements. In a fantasy where the most dangerous thing you can do is believe in someone. Comes out on May 12th. My next book, so I already talked about this book, so I'm going to briefly go over it. And that is The Girl with 1,000 Faces by Sun Yin Dean. When Mercy Chan washed up on the shores of Hong Kong with no family, no money, and no memories, she was thrust into the horrors of World War II. She only survived by hiding in a Kowloon walled city in an infamous ghost-infested slum full of lost and traumatized civilians. Since the end of the war, she has rebuilt her life and found work with the local Thailand as a ghost stalker, dealing with the angry bitter spirits haunt this place. These days, the filthy gutters and cramped alleyways of Kowloon feel like home. This kind of reminds me of The Last of Us. I don't know why. Comes out on May 5th. My next book is The Library After Dark by Aden Perego. Not all fairy tales were meant for children. Don't we know? Christian Anderson. Anyways. Aurea Stokes is finally feeling settled. She lives in a tiny New York apartment and works as a bookseller at a local shop, and has even taken a leap of faith in love by indulging her attraction to bookstore regular Jasper, and he seems to already know her so well. As a Valentine's Day surprise, Jasper gets the two of them tickets. Oh my gosh. Let's just go with it at this point. 2 of them tickets to an exclusive After Dark tour of the Daily News Library. The Grand Luz, established and famed for its immersive genre-based reading rooms, are more notoriously its rumored hauntings. While Aria normally loves all things ghastly, this place holds more dark secrets than she preferred Jasper to know. Like the last time she was here, she left a body behind. Comes out on May 5th. Man, why does everything happen in the library? Honestly. My final book is The Lustrous Dog by Loretta Shevchanuni. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. And this is inspired by a Moroccan folk tale in which a young midwife's apprentice rises up to take back the power that's been stolen from women. Often as a baby, Shay has spent her life training as a midwife's apprentice. Her role grants her stability, yet Shay has always yearned for more, namely motherly affection and his regarding a mysterious birth, neither of which the midwife deems practical to provide. After Shay discovers her birth mother, Hind, is still alive and addicted to a magical drug called snow, she determines to get the woman clean. But when Hind betrays Shay to get her hands on more snow, Shay is abandoned with the deadly forest and forced to rely on a band of lustrous ghouls for safety. Shay's realm has long stood on the brink of war between the men who control magic and the revolutionaries who want to eliminate it. But in the forest, Shay hears the pleading call of an ancient spirits who claim that not only has magic been stolen, but she has the power to return it. With the help of a Spitfire revolutionary and the boy who's rooting over her heart, Shay discovers the horrific truth of who produces snow, and will have to decide for herself whether to heed the spirit's change or fade into obscurity. Comes out on May 1st. And those are all the books that comes out in May. Obviously there will always be more no matter what. And let me know what books you're excited for May, and please like, comment, subscribe so you know if I ever time I post. I will see you on my next one. Bye!